Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Sokka Craft. I can't believe we've already got through 20 episodes, and to celebrate that, we're going to do a little bit of a walk around what I've done so far with shaders on. And I want to show you guys the shaders that I'm using today are the BSL shaders. I find that they're the best for being able to show inside and the nether. The Smelter shaders that I was using at the start of the Let's Play are really good for outside, but there's a lot of interior stuff that I want to show you as well. So let's get things started. And I want to get things started off over here at Kyoshi Settlement, specifically in the map room. If we look at these maps here, you can see the Kyoshi Settlement area. And just on the left, you can see the slight changes. You can see the building that I'm in up here and the watchtower over there right here. The only real differences that I've made to this area. You can see Kyoshi Island there starting to engross this area, but if we come over here, we can see the maps for Kyoshi Island. This map here is the blank. I took this before I got any work done, and then I deforested and put the mountains and the layout of where I wanted the village to be. Over at the next map, we got the village in place and the main walkway, and then we went over and we put in all of the vegetation and terraformed up trees and put in bushes and flowers and grass and all that types of stuff. And then we're on our current map over here, and you can see the only real differences are the meteor at the bottom from when I made my space sword, and Appa's chilling out there now. There's still a bunch of work to do on Kyoshi Island, so I have another spot for my final map. So I'm probably going to seal off this map after I've made a little bit more progress, and this will be the ongoing map for the rest of the Let's Play. But I want to continue this okay, let's go to sleep. But I wanted to continue this tour and look around. So over here at Kyoshi Settlement, I really haven't done too much since I got started over at Kyoshi Island. We have mostly the iron golems kind of wandering, protecting the grounds from all the zombified piglins that come through this portal. And this is our main house that I spend all my time in to come down and see the villagers down in the villager trading hall and in the villager breeder. Down here is where I trade away my iron for emeralds, and down here is where I trade away my emeralds for glass. I love how cool shaders makes this room look, and I love how the way shaders makes the lanterns wave around like this. In Kyoshi Settlement, I have not one, but 2 watchtowers. And I think this pretty much covers the Kyoshi Settlement area. Now, I'm going to fly over to Kyoshi Island just to show you the feel that it gets rendering in. I made sure to fill out the forest out here, and I often like to fly over the outside of these mountains here and right into the center of Kyoshi Island area. Hello, Avatar Kyoshi. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, Suki. Ah, look at us. So in the village, we have Taffy and Jeb always guarding the village as our honorable sheep. And we have inside, you can just check out the interiors of these houses. They're all based on different profession or theme. And we're going to be working on one of these houses later on in this episode. And now we're in my favorite of all the interiors, which is the librarian interior. And I even went to the lengths of going to the Wikipedia and reading all I could about Avatar Kyoshi and copying and pasting all the best parts into this book. So whenever I do a world download, you guys can come and check this out and learn all that you want about Avatar Kyoshi, or you can just pause it and read it all right now. And we have the Kyoshi Island Brewery. And here we have the Kyoshi Warrior Change Room where they leave their armor for whenever they need to get suited up. But I really just use it as a way to get down into the mountains where my farms are. And then I have another bubble elevator to get back up into that room. And the last room we have is the Kyoshi Warrior Hangout, where you can see them all hanging out and, you know, just gossiping and having a good time, doing what girls do. I don't know what girls do, I'm Sokka. And the last house in the strip is the house that we're going to work on today, because I want to get some work done on the super smelter, and this is the room I designated to be the super smelter. I was thinking I was going to have that one barrel be the input barrel where I put all of my stuff that needs to be smelted, and then the output barrel would be where everything comes back to me so I can then put it away in my shulker boxes. And that's why I made sure there was an ender chest in here, because I knew I'd need to use it for a lot of storage. And if we come into the main house here, we have the Kyoshi Dojo, where they come to train, practice, refine their skills, do whatever they need to do. I don't know what the Kyoshi warriors do, they only train me a little bit. Here we can see a few of their practice staffs. A few people forget to put it away, and if we come up the stairs, we'll see, there's nothing up there. Ah, beautiful sunsets. Looking good, Avatar Kyoshi, keep it up. And if we come to the back of the dojo, we will find the actual base part of Kyoshi Island, where we have this earthbending open door, Sokka style earthbending redstone, am I right? And then in here we kind of have my storage room and where all of the automatic farms inside of the mountains run to. We have all of the automatic storage here and all of my manual storage down these bunkers here. This is another area where I want to work on today. I want to figure out a way to finish off this, seal it in, and I want to add a few things to this area to make it a little bit more, feel a little bit more like home, you know what I mean? And to finish the tour, I'm not going to show you absolutely everything, but I want to show you what we have started on the Nether Hub. Over here in the Nether Hub, I have expanded a little bit in between episodes. It's not really that noticeable. I've just pushed that wall out a little bit and extended down towards this direction. But I feel like I really like the glass flooring, which of course makes everything spawn proof so we don't get any mobs here. And I love the reflections that the shaders give. I think it's just my favorite part. And then here we have easy access to the top of the nether roof. And we have the gold farm, which I have been to a lot to repair my pickaxes because I have been doing a lot of mining down here. Actually, let's have a quick look at the statistics and see how much netherrack I've mined. 138,000, that's actually not as much as I had thought. It's gonna be a lot more when I'm done with this nether hub. I'm hoping to do some nether hub work in a live stream coming up soon. I really want to tackle this chunk right here and kind of try to start creating it into a circle where I can then create different branch tubes later. But that's going to conclude the tour part of the video. Now let's get some work done on the base. And just like that, shaders are magically off. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to seal off this, figure out a roof, and more importantly, I want to create a safe bunker in this area that I can go to whenever I want to go AFK in this area. Because what I've been doing lately is I keep a block of glass on me, come over to these shulker boxes, I lighter hop down into here, and I just hide here for hours. And it works, but I want something more than this. So we're gonna make a little bit of a piston door, I think over in this back corner. And then I also want to do something about all the zombified piglins that come through here. So I'm gonna make a micro gold farm just behind here that's gonna trap the piglins. And we're gonna get a little bit of an extra trickle of gold. So I expanded the platform and I've started to think about where the door to my little micro safe house is going to be, and I think this might be the location for it. So I'm going to frame out the rest of the safe house, then bring you guys back. So I went ahead and I moved the nether portal out of the way and I got the redstone in place for the redstone door. If we press this button, the door opens up and I have the same thing going on the other side. If we look down at the redstone, you can see that the buttons just run into a pulse extender, which runs into a torch tower, which controls the pistons. And now I'm stuck down here. I decided to do a simple piston door for my AFK room because it's just going to be for where I go to not play the game, so I don't need anything too fancy. And I finished putting in the walls and the roof to this room. Now I just need to figure out what are we going to put inside the AFK room. I don't think we need a lot. It's just where I'm going to stand when I'm not playing. So maybe just a jukebox and some paintings to look at to pass the time. I don't know. And the AFK room is done. I just need to get some music to put in the jukebox. I still have no records. But anyways, let's move on to the next task of the episode. And the next task is the micro gold farm that I want to make out of this nether portal. You see, whenever I come up to my gold farm and I use it for any period of time, it makes piglins spawn in the nether portals down in my nether hub. And when they spawn there, they're going to go through the nether portal and end up on the other side. And after spending a little bit of time at the gold farm, let's see how many friends we have. Hey, you guys, get out of here. You don't pay rent. Oh god. Ah, there's another one. Oh my god. I shouldn't have done that. I wasn't scared, you were scared. Anyways, back to that gold farm. So I want to do a similar idea to what I did up in the other gold farm and have a little fall trap into, this time I'm going to have them fall into some wither roses. And there's going to be turtle eggs luring them so that when they come through the portal, they want to head in this direction and fall down. So I created this tunnel for the piglins to walk down, and I put turtle eggs at the end. And the zombified piglins are going to pathfind towards these turtle eggs. And they're going to think that these trapdoors are full blocks that they can walk on, so they're just going to walk straight and fall down. So now we just need to think about how we're going to kill these zombified piglins. Now I'm just going to put a layer of soul sand with some hoppers underneath, because hoppers are able to pick up items through soul sand. And I'm able to put wither roses on top of that soul sand, and that should be able to take care of the mobs. And that should be everything we need to do with this micro gold farm. Now, whenever a zombified piglin comes through that portal, they should just head right over for those turtle eggs and fall down into that pit of doom. Before we get started on the super smelter, I need to put up the walls and the roof of this back auto storage area. So we need to take some inspiration from these cubbies, so I'm probably going to use some blackstone, a little bit of dead coral, and I'm going to do that all in the form of a time lapse. Let's go. And the back storage room is complete. We continued framing everything out with the acacia logs, and I tried to really just continue everything out. I did put some of the dead coral in, but I ended up removing it. I found the blackstone looked a lot better. We have a few decorative blocks. I had a few tables. I put some artwork around, and I actually, in between clips, added one more little redstone feature to this area, and that's this button right here. Whenever I'm heading out to go out, I just need to press this button, and I get to fill up on ender pearls and rockets. If we look behind here, you can just see it's 2 dispensers, and this makes an observer clock, and we have a pulse extender to keep it there for a long enough time. It gives us roughly 12 ender pearls and about, I think, 30 rockets, something around there. So it's a really useful addition to the base, just so you can get all that stuff really quick and easy. And also, while I was over here, I made the nether portal a little bit wider just so it's symmetrical with the cavity here for the secret room. And the secret room hasn't changed at all. Let me know what you guys think about this area in the comments section down below. And now let's go have a look at our super smelter. So over in this house is where we've decided that we're going to put the super smelter, and this is going to be the input chest where we put all of our sand if we're smelting up glass or stone, and this is going to be the output chest where everything comes back to us. Let's have a quick look underneath and see how much room we have. Okay, so we're running into cliffs immediately, but maybe we could run the items down, put the super smelter down here, and then bring the items back up. So I'm going to go and figure out exactly where I want to put this super smelter, and then I'll bring you guys back. So I decided to clear out the mountain, and I dug a big hole to put the super smelter in. I think I'm going to be able to fit probably somewhere around 20 something furnaces in a line along here, and then I'll have the rest of the items coming back along here, and we can send them up to the output chest which should be right above here. So let's get started placing down our furnaces. I'm going to start out about here and we'll come across. And we got 24 furnaces in place. Now we need to put in the hoppers. I want hoppers along the back side of all the furnaces, on the top of all the furnaces, and underneath the furnaces. And now we have the basic structure of the super smelter. Now we just need to think about how we're going to get stuff from up in the house down into the super smelter. So I want to build a hopper line down so we can fill up a hopper minecart to send along these hoppers to hopefully evenly distribute the items across these hoppers. Now I want to get all of the rails in place. So I have all the rails in place and I'm starting to lay out where the redstone's going to go. This sticky piston here is going to stop the minecart in here so it can load up and then it will go on its way. And I got the redstone in place for that. Over there you can see a detector rail, and that detector rail is running across here into this torch tower, which turns this so that once that here, let me just show you. So if I remove this torch, it should simulate the minecart going off, and then when it comes back, it'll hit that detector rail and this rail will change and it'll come back up to get loaded. And if it left, it would repower here, so it would save the minecart back in its place, like so. And now I have the timing mechanism in place that allows for at least 24 items to go into this minecart before it gets sent off. And the way that it's timed out, it actually makes it so that it leaves the station when it's at 48 items, so it has enough to do at least 2 trips around. And then every time it comes back, it just tops up and makes sure that it's at 48 before it goes off again. And just to show you, we'll just put a bunch of dirt up here and let it flow down. And we can see once it gets to 48, it should fly off. It got to 49 because it was taking them in 2 at a time because the hopper mine carts. But, that's fine. This does mean that we're going to get some loss in the system so that whenever I do finish up a batch, there's probably going to be about 47 items stuck in here that didn't make it into the furnaces. But that's okay. I'll maybe figure out a solution for that a little bit later. So now I just need to sort out the hopper line for the fuel, and I need to sort out my fuel situation because I actually don't have a lot going on right now. I have a little bit of coal here that I'm going to fortune, and we'll see how far that takes us. This should work for now. I'm gonna have to figure out a fuel source maybe in the next episode. Now I just need to route these hoppers to a dropper elevator to bring all the items up to the barrel in the room above. And that is our dropper elevator. So how this works is this comparator checks to see whenever an item comes into here, Yeah, let's just put one in. And it will do a redstone clock, and then this observer then passes the signal up this line, and then the observers here pass them into the droppers, sending the items up to the top. And as we can see, the dirt has made it up here. There is always going to be one piece getting caught in the system, but that's all right. And now I think we are ready to give this thing an official test. I almost forgot to connect up the hoppers. So today I want to do my test using cactus because I know I'm going to need green dye. So right now everything should be heading down, and actually let's see what we can see from here. Okay, there goes our first run. Now let's see if we are getting any dye. Okay, I had some dirt clogging up a lot of the system. Okay. I screwed up routing those hoppers. Alright, so now all of this green dye should be heading up. Okay, that looks good. What can I say? Sometimes you forget a step. And let's see, we have... Okay, that is exactly what we wanted to see. We now have our green dye coming up here. So let's see how much gets stuck in the system. And I'll bring you guys back after this is all done smelting. And all the dye is done smelting, and it looks like we do have some green dye left in the system, but while I was waiting, I came up with a potential solution on how to fix that. And that solution is this lever. This lever runs down to a separate sticky piston which will pull the fence away so the minecart will run. So that should empty out the rest of the system. Now let's wait and see. And it looks like we have one dye lost in the system, but that's alright. I'm just going to take this out and put it in a shulker box. So what this lever does is it runs a redstone line down across this wool and back around to this sticky piston, which will then pull the fence out of the way. So now when I press the lever again, it will have put the fence back in place and the minecart will fall into its final resting place. And now it's ready for the system to detect whenever there's stuff in the minecart, and it will pull the fence out of the way automatically. And that's the whole super smelter. Now it's ready to be used whenever I need anything smelted. And that's where I'm gonna end today's episode. What do you guys think of today's episode? I did a bunch of base upgrades, and I showed you guys a few cool redstone things you can do to upgrade your base, and just let me know if you guys have any little redstone contraptions that you guys like to keep in your base, like this one. And it's always nice having a little bit of an isolation room to chill out and listen to some music. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, consider leaving a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribe. Stupid button. And consider subscribing. This is the worst outro. And Sokka out. Water tribe out. Oh, I'm not.